Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today, as today promises to be a very, very interesting one. It is Friday, and we're going to be talking about quite a number of things today. AFCON is still ongoing. AFCON, I think, ends at the weekend, so there's so much to still break down this wonderful Friday. There's updates from River State. We're going to be talking a lot about that. The vice president is also not in Nigeria anymore. He too is jetted out. There's also talks of former governor. Looks like a Supreme Court has overturned his acquittal, and looks like the man is on the hook again. Talking about defections, a very interesting, controversial defection happened yesterday that we're going to also be talking about. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us today, as we're going to be talking about everything sports, entertainment, politics, and everything else in between. My name is Dolupo, and with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank God it's Friday. New Music Friday, even if I've not listened to anyone.
I think Wizkid and Ashake have a new song. I think I saw it somewhere.
I've not heard it.
Anyway, so we're going to be talking about, like I said, we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. A few updates from AFCON. Yes, AFCON is definitely still on the front burner, and AFCON 2025, I definitely I would say that it has delivered a lot of entertainment, a lot of thrilling moments as it's rounding up. But we're going to be still looking through some of the things. First things first, this is the first time AFCON 2025 has set a record of about 120 goals record before the final and third place matches.
You must say thank you to Nigeria. You guys are welcome. Yeah, free scoring country. Decided to up AFCON's game. You're welcome once again.
Yeah, that is actually not bad actually.
It's not unfactual.
I'm talking about the whole tournament. We're not just talking about Nigeria here. Thank you very much. Can we?
What's AFCON without Nigeria? Please.
Okay, please, can we talk about AFCON and not just Nigeria? We're not here to talk about just Nigeria.
Nope.
Anyway,
which is no way.
So like I said, according to CAF on today's statement, they said the tally eclipses the previous record of 102 goals set at the 2019 finals in Egypt. Now, before even the finals and the third place, there's already 120 goals. So I think that would be beautiful. At the moment, Morocco's Brahim Diaz is leading the scoring chart with 5 goals. Then there's Victor Osimhen and Mohamed Salah's goals as well. I think Ademola Lookman is also in that mix. We're going to be told. So that's quite, I would say that it is. But also, let's also look at it from the fact that there are more teams now. So that could also be responsible for the number of goals.
Now, for you, you know, if we let person just gloat small. Eh?
But it is what it is now.
Now, why for you?
Oh, is Nigeria the highest scoring team? Yes, but the truth is that there are actually a lot more teams there. So
just small shine where person won't shine like this. You just decide to take the shine.
That's your business. So we deal with facts here at the bar. We deal with facts. So yeah, basically that's a very interesting one. Also, still sticking with AFCON, CAF and Puma have now unveiled a special AFCON 2025 final match ball.
Yeah, CAF doing all the razzmatazz and all the jazz, adding a lot of verve and color to CAF. You know, I just wish they would look into officiating. AFCON. What did I call it?
CAF.
Yeah, AFCON. I was wrong. She was right, but still, they were wrong by putting that Ghanaian referee in our game. Thank you.
Anyway, so now, like I said, still talking about AFCON. Burna Boy, anyway, this is Nigerian's artist, is also set to headline the AFCON Fan Zone finale. again, CAF is not just giving football this year. They seem to want to put out all the stops,
Yeah, nice concept. They had the show, which the first one, which was the show, and what they had was like a proper concert. Now they're having a concert tonight, Friday. It's not the closing ceremony thing. It's a proper concert with about 4 artists. There's a Stormy guy, I think it's Moroccan or something. Although some Nigerian media outlets are calling it Stormzy. It's not Stormzy. There's a guy called Stormy, and he's performing. There's Stonebwoy. Everybody knows Stonebwoy from Ghana. Then there's Jalen, and of course there is Odogu himself, ODG, Burner, Oluwaye.
So yeah,
it's about to be a party in Morocco.
So definitely going to be a party, but still, there is still going to be games for people that are wondering. Yes, there are the third place matches and the final matches. Once you get to the semi-finals, you ain't going nowhere until you still have the same number of games. But so tomorrow we're going to be seeing Egypt Nigeria play at 5 p.m. West African time. And the finals will be on Sunday at 8 p.m. between Senegal and Morocco.
Yeah, it's actually going to be amazing games. 2 amazing games between 4 of Africa's best. It's obvious that these are the best teams that Africa has at the moment. Senegal has actually been consistent at this tournament. They've not been flashy or all over the place. They're just getting the results, Morocco struggled at times, but were consistent with their defense, and of course they went unbeaten, even up until now, I think, So it's gonna be
yes. I think they had
it was just a draw.
It was a draw that they had.
They only dropped points at the group stage, so it's actually gonna be a cracker. The other one is what I'm not sure about, because one, Nigeria's gonna be missing CB himself, Calvin Bassey, aka centre back. His name is CB, Calvin Bassey, but when you want to say centre back, it's Calvin Bassey also, and it's CB, Calvin Bassey, and of course Osimhen, he played through the pain, at the last game and all of that. But regardless, it's gonna be a tough one. Egypt are also missing out on one player. And there's a lot of buzz about, Salah is back. I'm like, which Salah is back? Them being knocked out doesn't mean he's back. It's you people that don't do third place matches in your own tournament. In Africa, we do third place. So I say it as a chat. Brahim Diaz is leading the battle for the golden boot. He has 5 goals, and the only people that can stop him are the Nigerian players at the moment.
Yes, they're the only ones.
So I hope that it motivates them. I've read reports of some people saying, the Browns is not Oga. You where they talk, how many you get?
Anyway, moving on from that quickly, it has also now been there's now a picture or footage of Anthony Joshua in the gym returning after his car crash, and I think this is actually a very good thing. We don't know if he's going to retire or not, but to see him in the gym means that there's a level of fitness that he has now.
Yeah, it's also a way of telling all these fake news merchants to shut it for now. I know that beyond the physical, what AJ is doing is more of mental. He's basically trying to get back on his feet, not necessarily compete, And according to Eddie Earn, his business manager, that's what I like to call him, there's a possibility that AJ makes it back into the ring. But at this point, nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just happy that
he's alive,
is on his feet, and he has the ability to, make it to the gym.
I think that's actually that's it for me as well. Like all the stories of, I'm like, can you people just leave this matter alone? It's really not anybody's business at this point. Not like as if after his last game he was even going to go into the ring anytime soon anyway. So can we just like pipe down and all that?
Yeah, of course, there was a build-up to the Fury fight. Like, we were all hoping that would happen this year and all of that. But it wasn't going to be January or February or anything. It's so sad, though. It's so sad. Those two guys are gone like that.
Yep. Anyway, now let's come down to Nigeria and let's talk about a few local stories. First things first, just want to, as the presidential watch man or watch woman or watch person, call it whatever, watch girl. Vice President Kashim Shettima is also off out of Nigeria. Pew, 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 pew. The president is, I think, president is in Abu Dhabi, and now the vice president is supposed to be in Guinea and in Switzerland.
The Nigerian acting president has left. So I want to ask, who is the president of Nigeria at the moment?
If I'm correct, though, there's no acting. There wasn't like unofficial. But if there's anything that needs to be done now, I'm guessing we have a Senate president.
Okay. This Shettima and Tinubu people, they're not saying though.
They don't say you put papa. They go anywhere they want to go, however they want to go. The vice president is supposed to represent the president at inauguration of President Mamadi Doumbouya in Guinea-Conakry, and from there he is now supposed to attend the 56th meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Davos
is actually creating a buzz. There's a Nigeria house now, and even the Swiss was it the Swiss ambassador that had a meeting with one of the Nigerian ministers, Oduwole, and it's something that people are happy about, that Nigeria has come to the level where they're going to have those meetings that they have on the sidelines. They have their own full representation now, and of course it would be nice to have someone of high standing like the vice president attending Davos. So it's looking good for us when it comes to all this international relations.
Okay, so so interesting news coming from there. So just wanted to put that out there, like in case you want to go and see vice president is not at home.
She have traveled.
Anyway, the International Monetary Fund has also now said that those Nigeria has backed Nigeria's CPI rebasing, as inflation is also now eased to 15.15%. So according to the National Bureau of Statistics, they're saying that inflation is reducing that cost of goods. Cost of goods are really dropping.
It's a good thing for us, and we're always constantly harping on this things when they mention the tactical things and all of that, cost of this going down, cost of that going down, and the prayer is that it actually trickles down to the people. Yesterday we heard about the EU removing Nigeria from its high risk financial watch list. You understand? Also yesterday, OPEC was talking about how Nigeria's economy was doing well, and of course, and it's even non-oil exports. It's part of their report. Do you get all of these things? How does it affect the guy on the street? The regular Nigerian is my own concern, because if government is doing well and they have been able to bring down headline inflation and move things by basis points and all of those technical jargons, why are people increasing prices of goods and services? Why? What is the basis?
I honestly don't get it, but I think that for me, for the first time in a very long time, I think that the reduction of petrol and all that, I would say, did not affect transportation. But I can say that it's probably the first time in a long time that we went through Christmas period and we didn't have astronomical prices in goods. Like, what I mean by goods, like foodstuff and all that.
But it's not good enough looking at the cost that
I get the fact that
you are looking at the positives.
I'm looking at the fact that for even if when we were buying petrol at 190 and buying 45 naira or whatever price it was, once it's close to December, it's just everything just goes boom. just because for no reason.
It
at
still
all.
did. That's the thing. It still did. It still did. It still did.
It did.
Oh yes, now transportation went to 100%.
That's why I said transportation. I'm talking about food. I was very
Things went
specific
up
with
too
food.
now. Look
No,
at them.
I would-
Turkey. I saw someone talking about how they priced turkey at about 350,000 naira.
So
One bird,
one could be.
just one bird.
Okay, the way you said one bird. Things like rice,
Eh.
gari, pepper, those things did not increase.
Oh, rice came down. Fantastic. There's no arguing that. But that mentality
It's the mentality
It's still
for
there.
Me. Yeah, no, yeah.
is still there. They say it's capitalism. They say it's business. I get that. But where do you draw the line?
Like, what's the justification for it? That's what I said.
Look, the Amala joint died down the road just increased Ogufe for no reason. Is it that goats are now scarce?
Maybe.
What actually happened? You're jacking up everything. You're turn Amala to 300 naira for 200.
Okay, that's what's really paining you.
It's wrong now. Is it that cassava went up?
Okay. No.
Uh-uh.
Anyway, can we move on? Because at
We
this point,
cannot
it's
move
getting
on, no.
very personal.
It has to be personal now.
It's
When you
very-
listen, I like to be funny, but we drive home the point still. When we're saying that headline inflation has gone down and Kinecon has receded, but there are still items that we buy on a regular that are not that it's not reflecting. They're not going down. Rent is going crazy. Do you understand? Look, this is a wake-up call. I'm telling the government. No amount of technical success would rub off on the people if you sit in Abuja and assume that because they are bringing statistics to you, Nigerians are happy.
Anyway, my point still remains. You know that whether we like it or not, as much as starts, the president will not go to every market. Like you said, there's a mentality that Nigerians have, and I think is actually wrong. It's wrong on all levels. The government is not going to go to every market to have people to have sense. We should also realize that as much as a lot of people are ready to criticize the government, and I will say it, most people that criticize the government, a lot of them are even culpable with these things. That as much as we want to criticize the government, can we also look inward? Because most of these people are the people selling things for you and I. And everybody is trying to form, it's a lie. Let's not lie to ourselves. At this point, we're beginning to it's just ridiculous. Let me just put it like that. It's actually getting very ridiculous. But anyway, we definitely would follow all that matter. But moving on from that quickly, just wanted to put this out there. Like, for removing monopoly and all those things now, it's interesting as now there's now new competition as the NCC, the Nigeria Communications Commission, has now granted Amazon Q-Power 2 licenses. Basically, what Starlink has, there's now another company that now has a new license as well in Nigeria. So more internet for everybody.
Honestly, when I saw this thing about 2 days ago, my first reaction was excitement. Like, fantastic, So, because we're already looking at how Starlink can go mobile. You get, because Starlink is satellite-based internet. What it means is that you can actually take your hardware anywhere you want in Nigeria and it will work.
Yeah.
There's coverage everywhere because it's satellite-based. But mobile that I'm talking about is the ability for you with your mobile device to maybe get access to the internet.
Yeah.
If we attain that, it's a game changer. However, that's not happening yet. So we're still stuck with our SIM cards that will work in the living room and will not work in the kitchen. You get, and some people still have to look for the best part of their houses to get good internet service. All of these devices will eliminate that. But Starlink has not done badly. The only bot there is not that cheap. You understand? It costs a whole lot. But funny enough, there's a lot of market penetration for them. there's hardly any street in my neighborhood that doesn't have at least one person that has that robot-like thing on their roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see it a lot. So maybe the advent of Amazon's Creeper will drive competition, and hopefully it will
You drive down the cost,
make it more affordable.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
But it also shows that at least they know about the numbers in Nigeria.
Yeah. Now moving on from that, let's now go to a bit of politics / court issues and all that. Very interesting stories. First things first, this is another update again, because see this I think it's safe to say that the matter in Rivers State is what we call season film. Season 1, season 2, I think we're season 4 or 5 now or something. As of yesterday, it was a season that we thought, okay, this matter will die down.
It's swinging this way.
Another season pops up.
Then it's swinging that way.
Why would you wonder why I'm saying so? Remember that for the past 2-3 days, there's been talks of, first there were 2 lawmakers that stepped down and said they were not, they're not okay with this impeachment anymore.
Yeah.
Then we saw another 2, and it was looking like, and I remember we had a conversation here, and you were like, you know what, it doesn't look like this impeachment is going to happen. Only for us to wake up this morning, and guess what? Those Rivers Assembly lawmakers have made a U-turn, and now they are now backing the impeachment proceeding of the governor.
However, let me state again that the reason why I feel the impeachment will not go through is largely due to the effect that it will have on everybody, even the people that are trying to push for impeachment. And I have a feeling that since they are in cahoots with some very highly placed people in Nigeria, they will not let it go through. One of the angles that is being played up in Rivers State is the ethnic angle. That I can't remember when an Ijaw man was governor of Rivers. You understand? Wike is not Ijaw. Rotimi Amechi is not. I don't think Odili is Ijaw. Do you understand? So the Ijaw nation, for the first time, really have like their son as governor. And our politics is very, very ethnic, and it's ethnocentric. It's
sadly, I don't think that their son played his cards well at all.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with what you just said now. I'm just saying that this is an angle that is being explored. The other angle is that it pays the president of Nigeria more to have, a united front, than a divided one. This guy is a member of this party now. That should count for something. It should count for something.
It should, but it doesn't look like it is counting for anything now, because
that's what I'm saying. That I don't think that when push comes to shove, when he's back from his junket, he would have a sit down again. I just have a feeling. I have a strong feeling that how many governors, now that we can't use all those fiat, there was a lot of military influenced fiat in Nigeria's politics at some point.
Yeah.
How many governors have actually been impeached in Nigeria without breaking the rules?
Yeah, but at this point,
speaking of rules, every elected official must be careful. It is the easiest rule to break. The impeachable offenses that you commit are actually
very easy.
Very easy.
They're very easy to.
Budget performance is one. Extra budgetary spendings and allocations. Because guess what? Your budgets must be passed into law. And this is a house that has not functioned in almost 2 years.
2 years. So that alone.
There's been 2 budgetary cycles. What that means is that they can actually use that to impeach you, sir.
Oh, that's one of the things that they're planning that they're using to impeach him. So, which I thought those conversations were already like dead and buried and all that.
And what they are insinuating is that even if there was a political solution, it doesn't exist anymore, that the governor did not show anything. I still feel that there's something that they saw in him that made them bring him out as governor. Their differences are standard. And I have seen this happen where principals are falling out with their subjects. I've seen godfather in the Nigerian context of politics fall out with godsons. But at this type of place, you have to let it slide until the next election. That's where you correct things.
At this point, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere because the Rivers Assembly has now even urged the chief judge of the state to begin the impeachment probe. Today, they formally called on the chief judge of the state to set up a panel to investigate the allegations of misconduct against the governor and his deputy.
Like I said, of course, if you dig deep, there will always be an impeachable offense by elected officials because the law is very clear. But me now, I'm solely leaning on politics. And the reason why I'm saying is that the people of Rivers State actually deserve more and they deserve better.
For me, the only issue I have with it is, do I think that maybe he needs to impeach? Good luck to them. My own is, there's been too much drama around Rivers State and the Rivers State governance for too long. I think this drama literally started barely 6 months into the new government. Have we really seen any governance in Rivers State? So for me, if you ask, should he be impeached or not? If impeaching him is going to settle all the dust, please impeach him quickly and let's move on.
So the implications are that normally if the governor is impeached, the deputy will step in. But guess what? The deputy is also on the ballot. The deputy's head is on the chopping block too. So if you chop the governor and you chop the deputy,
the speaker,
constitutionally the speaker will step in for a limited period
until there's a
so there has to be by-elections and all of that.
I don't know though, but that's it for me. Like, if you're not going to impeach him, please don't impeach him and let's move on from it. If you're going to, this back and forth is
the new governor
tiring.
If they impeach him and a new governor is elected, constitutionally he has to spend 4 years. So another off-cycle state.
I think that on the matter of that one, I think that doesn't.
They will say you should finish this.
Yeah, I think I remember reading something like that in Constitution.
I hope so.
I think that changes when it becomes. Take for example look at the case of what's it called, Akala. In Oyo State.
Forget all those impeachments of that period. Though.
No, I'm not talking about impeachments of the period. I'm talking about the fact that when you're done with, you have to, is when you're impeached and you come in as the person to replace the person, you finish that person's tenure.
The reason why I'm saying I want to completely discard what happened that period is the videos that I saw, and even elected
I
officials.
Get your point. Is impeachment process?
We're picking the gavel.
Oh no, is impeachment process? That's another conversation entirely.
Oh my God.
That one.
That can't happen anymore, though.
No, of course, those kind of things. I'm not sure those things can happen anymore. Anyway, still talking about court proceedings. Well, since we're talking about proceedings, now let's move on to the courts. As Supreme Court, interestingly today, has now reversed former Jigawa Governor Lamido's acquittal in 1.35 billion naira fraud. Before
we talk about that, can we talk about his son's case also?
Oh, so this 1.35 billion naira scam fraud matter is him and his sons.
Yeah.
Now there's a son that there's a $40,000 that he did not declare.
Yeah.
At the airport or something. That's another case.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, can we talk about that first?
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
So just like Dolupo pointed out, so this brother, according to the law and according to reports, was traveling, and at the airport he declared $10,000 cash as what he had on him. But upon further prodding and investigation, they found an additional $40,000. And they were like, why didn't you declare it? He said, oh, no, whatever happens. The case went to court. And a judgment was passed against him. And he was told to forfeit 25% of that 40K. My man say no, I not agree. Then he went to appeal court.
You go to jail.
Hey, what? Wait. You had $50,000 on you. You declared 10. Then they found 40 additional. And the court, you actually went to court, and court says, no, you messed up. 25% off. Did you think you were going to get a different judgment?
No. Apparently.
Then he went to appeal. Anyways, now they have told you that you have chopped basic.
Yeah, the Supreme Court, we know that is final. Unfortunately, still talking about the
same
Supreme
family.
Court. The Supreme Court really will safe to say the Supreme Court had their time.
Oh yeah.
Has now ordered that the trial of the former governor and his two sons should continue before the Federal High Court. So, the case is still in High Court. But then the governor and his sons definitely went to court to say that, that the case should not continue. Went to another court to say the case should not continue.
Yeah.
They stopped there, went to, I think, an appeal court. And I think there was an acquittal at the appeal court. And then, now, he's now finally gone back to Supreme Court. Supreme Court now says, you know what? You are continuing that case.
One of the allegations is that, so it's alleged that the former governor, Lamido, did collect kickbacks from contractors, amongst other allegations. So, up to the tune of 1.3 billion naira. Now, one of the things that we have learned on this job is that when you hear the figure, be alarmed, but do not take it. There's more.
No, there's always more.
There's always more. And they're all allegations until
there's
confirmed.
Always more. Interesting news is that, the Court of Appeal had said that there was a no-case submission and struck out the 37-count charge against the former governor, saying that the Federal High Court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case. Then the EFCC decided, we're going to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court has returned them back to the High Court and said, you know what? Case day.
There is case.
You are going to go.
There is case. That court that say you don't have case was a technicality. And, Dolupo, let me digress again. At times it sounds crazy, but remember when we were talking about how local governments would stand on Ikorodu Road and they will put people there to arrest people who are crossing the express, which of course is wrong. They're not supposed to cross the express. And I'm saying to myself, that effort, why don't you put those people there to tell them, don't cross the express, use the bridge? But they will let them cross the express, then arrest them and collect.
Because they want to arrest you
and collect money from.
Go to jail or you go to.
Most times they just collect money
from you.
You pay a fine.
So if you don't want to pay fine, don't cross the express.
Do you understand?
Not send you. But you know how dangerous that thing could also be.
Very dangerous.
Because maybe we're in Nigeria, it's enough to actually sue.
Jaywalking and all of that.
Because my point is that in trying to want to catch them in the act, instead of saving their lives, people could actually die. So,
how does that relate to Lamido?
I was just talking.
I brought it up. Like, I'm trying to say that maybe you get what I'm trying to say.
No.
So, man goes to court. You get, as in, it was taken to court. A court now says it has no case submission. The reason why they said no case is because the court that they took him to, according to them, lacks the jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Why don't you, as a judge, refer that case to the court
court that has jurisdiction?
That's what I'm trying to say. That so because you want to do this, no, it shouldn't be. By law, you know that the law enforcement agencies are saying we suspect this person, and this is the evidence. They are saying, the court that they went to does not have jurisdiction.
Can we even talk about this matter of jurisdiction or no jurisdiction?
Technicalities.
When you go to court and a court knows that, which I think that maybe judges should, even if some lawyers don't. This case does not have jurisdiction. Before I sit on this case, take it to so court, and then this matter ends.
Dolupo. Understanding the law, let's extend it to medical. What's the correlation? Please be patient. There is the primary health care, the secondary and tertiary health care. And it's funny, like we were talking about referrals the other day. most of the initial cases is supposed to go to the primary health care center.
Yeah.
Then the person gets referred to the secondary and tertiary. You understand? It should be the same thing with the law.
Basically, you go to an eye clinic or you go to see an ophthalmologist, but you have issues with your throat. All they need to do is refer. Oh, this is the wrong
ENT.
place. You go to an ENT doctor. Simple.
So,
but no, in the Nigerian legal system, we are going to be rigmaroling.
So picture a doctor saying that this person's case should be at the teaching hospital. And I said, I'm the doctor in charge of this your case file. This hospital does not undo things like this. Go away. That's what the judges are doing. No? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
Does it make any sense?
It actually
you look at the case and say, this case is for this court. There are labor laws and there's a labor court. So there are certain things that you say, you know what, I'm referring this case to. Do you get Abba now? And meanwhile, we have customary courts. We have all of them at different tiers. Why can't we use that? A judge will not cancel a case.
So that we don't even waste time over what is.
You not even cancel a case that has been postponed 10 times. You say
just because of a technicality.
No, how can you say no case submission on a technicality? No case.
Anyway, talking about, let's move on from matters of case or no case, because this matter, another season film that looks like it's going to be long.
Which one?
This one's going to be long.
What's going on?
The Alaafin is in the news again. I think that as influential as the old Alaafin was before he died, I don't even think he was in the news this much.
Abba.
Yes, nah.
I'm not saying Abba to you, my friend. It's just Abba.
I don't even think
he
was in the news this much. Because it's what this matters now. Since this daddy became Alaafin, it's one story or another. I'm
not from Oyo, but I miss that old boxer guy with his 3 or 4 beautiful wives traveling together.
3 or 4?
I've not seen him travel with more than 3 or 4 wives.
Okay, maybe you haven't.
I got him in my soul. Is what I saw that I would say. Please, I beg. So, is there, and all these wives are, with him, and they're all yellow, all of them.
They're all using the cream together.
I didn't say that too. I didn't, and she also didn't say that. It's AI that said that.
Okay, I heard you.
The bottom line is that actually, like the pride and the dignity that he used to carry that throne, and the crown. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying any other thing, because it's looking like it's going to be controversy after controversy.
Yes, looks like this controversy is not going anywhere anytime soon. Why? And you might be wondering what is happening again. So let me break it down. Yesterday, the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde inaugurated Oyo State Council of Obas and Chiefs after 15 years. It has not happened in 15 years. And he made the Olubadan of Ibadan, the new Olubadan, its first chairman after 15 years. So, the Alaafin of Oyo, who is also one of the few first-class kings in Oyo State, as big as Oyo State is, was conspicuously absent from the inauguration, which was held at the House of Chiefs. There were quite a number of governors there. The governor had explained that the chairmanship of the Oba Council will be rotated from between the Olubadan, the Alaafin, and the Shonwo of Ogbomoso. Those are the 3 first-class kings in Oyo State. Now, apparently, in a swift statement that same yesterday by the media aide of the Alaafin, he had now countered what the governor was saying that there was no such meeting. Apparently, the governor had said, that there was a meeting and
they had agreed
and concluded.
Yeah.
According to the statement, it said that the attention of Alaafin's Palace Major to a statement credited to the governor that he consulted with 3 traditional rulers in the state for rotational chairmanship of the State Council of Obas and Chiefs. The palace hereby wants to state clearly that there was no time that His Imperial Majesty the Alaafin of Oyo held any meeting with either the state governor or any of the 2 traditional rulers mentioned above. Also, the Alaafin did not tell the governor or make a categorical statement on his endorsement of the rotational chairmanship among the 3. The position of the Alaafin and the entire Oyo community on the general issue Council of Elders and chiefs has been enunciated in a memo delivered by His Excellency by the Oyo Council of Elders. So basically, what the Alaafin is saying is that from time immemorial, which is something that I think had happened for so long, it's the Alaafin of Oyo that is the chairman of this council. However, the governor is saying that they have now had conversations and saying that since there are actually 3 first-class kings, this chairmanship is going to be
So who's
taken.
lying? Who's lying?
So who's lying?
You know, I like to be objective and fair. I really don't blame the Alaafin's response, if this is an official statement from his office.
Yeah.
Really and truly, if I did not agree to something, why would you say I did? Do you understand? As much as everybody's look, this is
so
the fair.
now the story is that who's lying, like you said.
You get who's lying. This is the fair. The fair is that, you see, back in the day, the kings were in charge of their domains, their territory. There were no governors. But constitutionally, and in these modern times that we live in, now there are governors. And governors have several kings under them. And governors have the power to say, you are a king, you are a king, you're
not
a
a
king. And the same way governors can say, like it's happening in Kano, you're not the king, you're not the king, you're not the king. So this is the problem. So while I might not be a big fan of the Alaafin, I might not be, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I really don't blame their response, because now they are saying there was no time that we agreed to share our chairmanship with anybody, and I don't blame them. So it's up to the governors people to respond now and say,
okay, so can I also say something that
yes, please.
The fact that the new Olubadan was a former senator, was a former governor, and maybe added with his age, there is a level of reverence that even the other Olubadans might not have gotten that he will get.
Doesn't matter. Has nothing to do with tradition or anything. Absolutely nothing.
I know that it might be sentimental.
Yeah, you're just being sentimental.
No, I'm not me. I said their decisions might be sentimental, but could it be possible that that's one of the reasons?
It shouldn't be. So when your sentiment changes, the system changes also. That's why everything is institutionalized. I keep saying it in Ibadan. Everybody knows that you cannot get a young Olubadan because of the system. That means you have to rise to the top of your own side to become an Olubadan. So it has nothing to do with him being a former governor, nothing to do with him being a senator, and his age has nothing to do with it. Now look at it this way. Let's just assume, of course, this is not the scenario. If, for instance, the Oni of Ife, if the Oni of Ife is the highest ranking Yoruba king, a lot of people don't agree that he is. Some people will tell you that Shango, that is the Alaafin, because that's Shango's thing, is the highest ranking king. Some people will tell you, no, he's the Oni. Some people will tell you, Oni is not even Oduduwa. A lot of things have been said. I don't want to go in, but I'm just saying that let's just for argument purposes,
yeah.
If the Oni of Ife is 21 years old, all the kings, in fact, you know that within Ife there are kings, there are other kings.
Oh yeah, yes.
All those kings must bow to him.
Yes.
He has nothing to do with his age or status or whatever. And so we should not bring that also into the Olubadan thing that, too much sentiment of Rashidi Ladoja being the former governor. It has nothing to do with it. But he's a bona fide Olubadan. Nobody can take that away from him. He grew through the ranks. He went through every level until he became Olubadan of Ibadan. You understand? So that should not even come to bear at all. If Oyo State are changing the rules and saying that they're not going to have only Alaafin as
carry
chairman,
everybody along,
let it be cast in stone. Let it be written in black and white, so that people now know that this is what the governor
or the house
and
agreed.
The state has passed into law to say that henceforth there will be rotational chairmanship in Oyo State. It's hard. Like in Lagos now, it's hard. And meanwhile, they have more than one first-class chief in Lagos.
They do? They don't? Yeah, they do.
Oh,
they
really?
They do. Okay.
Don't.
The Korodu King, the
There's 3
Ekpe,
minimum.
and I think the Korodu. No, they're even 4. I think they're 4. I think
I said
Badagry.
minimum. I said minimum.
Ikorodu, Ekpe, and Oba of Lagos. Yes.
I said minimum. I know why I said it. I always like to leave that.
Yeah, go
gap.
ahead.
So what I'm saying in essence is that go and check historically who is the chairman of the council in Lagos. Do you understand? So regardless of what people say over and over and over again, as long as it is the law, because we have left the era of the Oba
seniority
is ultimate.
Yes.
It's the governor that is ultimate now. It's the commissioner of chieftaincy affairs. It's the local government chairman that pays their salaries. It's all of that. It's all of that.
So I agree with you. At least the least you can do is institutionalize it. Jesus, why so much English? Anyway, moving on from that, let's move on to something very interesting thing that happened in politics. And I think that this is not the first time we're seeing something like this, or maybe at least we've not seen defections like this. I remember a few months ago we're still talking about how El Rufai's son has not moved from the APC, and his father is fighting the APC, and I think he's officially in the ADC. But another interesting one that we saw is the fact that Atiku Abubakar's son did not just stay in the PDP while his father moved to the APC. He has officially decamped to the APC. Not
only has he decamped, yesterday the Deputy Senate President, I think that's Barao, welcomed him with other top officials, and he says that's the man that's responsible for his decision to join the APC. And not only did he just join the APC, according to these reports that we have read and seen and all of that, he also says that he is going to work hard towards the re-election of the APC's Bola Tinubu. Sounds good. There's only one problem.
His father wants to be president.
His father.
So are we going to say that maybe they are not on talking terms?
No, according to the father, he's responded already, and he says that he's not someone that forces his own will on people, that his son has the right to choose what he wants to choose and all of that. But you see, not me. There's one movie that someone was telling me about that just say they want to do, and just follow me for 30 seconds. Okay. So there's family meeting, and everybody is like, why do we have to put all our eggs in one basket? Oh yeah, now Shebi, you are close to that APC guy.
Wow,
you go.
Really?
If you go, we can now, you understand. So after all, our good man in another state was former governor, and his son is here, his father is here. I didn't mention anybody's name. I didn't mention anybody's name.
Really.
Now, so what they are now insinuating in the old Dramatica is that actually is a possibility that it's the family decision that let's not all put all our eggs in one basket. That's what people are saying in a hypothetical way. You understand? Just a hypothetical discussion. You understand? On the other way, indeed. Somebody now say, this is a discussion. This is a discussion on this. Someone now say, he has only one word for the guy, mole. I said, you have mole on your face? He said, no. He said, mole.
Anyway,
I said, what do you mean?
Let's
the
move
person
on.
just say, he's just saying everything dramatica. So actually, that's what we had in a dramatical setting. But we will be here to break it down. Yours truly. Hey, that's all.
We're moving on from that, and now moving on to a very, a very, very notable person is said to have passed on at the age of 90. Now, this person is Imam Abdullahi Abubakar. Yeah, his name might not ring a bell. It really might not, but definitely his actions definitely rung a bell in 2018. Apparently, in Plateau State, there were attacks in Plateau State, and these attacks were actually directed mainly at Christians in Plateau State in 2018. But this man, who was the chief imam of his village, opened the mosque for Christians and basically saved people's lives, regardless of the religion.
Exactly. And that matter did not go, unheard. It did not go, under the radar.
Yeah, it's said to have sheltered more than 200 people.
Yep, and kept them alive. And that was huge. And what that led to is a lot of recognition for the chief imam. And at some point, even the Americans gave him an award.
I think that
he met with the former president Buhari. Then Buhari was president. He was made MON. Basically people recognize the humanity.
Nothing else explains nationalism more than that. It explains humanity more than that. It's outside of our creed, our nationality, our ethnicity, our religion. It's people's lives. Imagine over 200 people.
I hope that we learn something from him, that regardless of your political or your religious leaning, you're first a human being.
That's just a fantastic human being. And even the governor said it's a huge loss for the whole state. I think it should be for Nigeria.
I think it should be immortalized beyond all of this.
Nigeria.
Maybe name some public buildings after him, a road or something. I don't know.
Such a fantastic human being. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, a classroom set to have collapsed around Ikorodu Road. Ikorodu. In Ikorodu, thankfully, it said that nobody.
Yeah, it happened in the evening. So.
Nobody got injured, and now the school is said to be relocated, but the governor is ordering a probe.
So this building had been earmarked for demolition because they wanted to bring it down and upgrade it. But the only thing that stuck out at me is it said to be a bungalow, right? How bungalow the?
Mine is, if it's earmarked for demolition, where was the alternative that was provided?
It's really not something that I can answer. But what I can say is that the building was definitely in a bad shape. The question would be, why did they let it get so bad before marking it for demolition so that they can upgrade it into something more befitting? Do you understand? So my own question, rephrasing, I'm not saying that question is invalid though, but my own question would be, what were they looking at until it got this bad?
Why did it get this bad? Anyway, we'll follow that matter, but thankfully nobody actually lost their lives
were lost
in that incident. Also, quickly, let's just go through a bit of foreign stories. But before we get to foreign stories, actually, there's a gist that is brewing, especially on social media now. Davido is in the news again, and apparently, a few weeks ago, and from time to time, is I think his Cubana chief priest that there's supposed to be an alleged baby mama that is going off on him.
No, that one is dragging him like. And she's not even in Nigeria.
Davido seems to have gotten a baby mama that is also dragging him now. Apparently, this started, I think, about 2 days ago, when a particular young lady decided to put out a post saying that Davido is her father, that she just needs to do a DNA. When I saw that post, I think it's about 14. I'm like, I don't think any parent should allow their child, because. Sorry, but I felt like you're setting up your child for drugs. You can't tell me that you didn't know that your child was going to put out this post. I think that it was completely wrong on the part of the mother. Then, after that, as of yesterday, I think the video had come out to say that that child is not his, that there have been 5 DNA tests, and that child is not his. Today, the mother has now come out to talk, and she broke her silence, saying that, she met him in Ibadan at a club, that she was not a call girl, that she was a waiter at the club, but he followed him home. And that, there had been a few times that blood had been drawn once in a while, and but then now that those tests were never done and all that, in fact, she even called on the US, that him being a US citizen, that the US in Nigeria should compel him to do a DNA test that they would supervise for her daughter.
In all of this, Dolupo made something that sounded naive. How would you have your child say that? If the child did not say we will be discussing it today, that's how it works. That's the whole essence. The whole idea is that
I just think it's unfair on the girl for you to pull her up.
Fair is another discussion. The game plan has been achieved. They've probably been at it for a while, and the attention that they wanted, they didn't get. The pressure that they wanted to exert, they did not achieve it until now. Until when the child made the video. So it is what it is. I saw a tweet from the video, and he said, look, this is the last time he's going to address this, that there've been 5 DNA tests and 3 from him. You know, in fact, the fact that you need more than 1 DNA shows that there's a problem. Do you understand? There's one brand, one alcoholic brand in Nigeria that says no DNA needed, and you know they use Femi Kuti's son, Made Kuti, as their what's it called now, ambassador, as the model. Yeah. And of course, when you see Made, you know now. So this is not Femi Kuti's son. And when you say, you know, say,
is it just me? He kind of looks more like Fela.
That's why I'm going. Hold on. That's why I said you just got me off. And that's why when you say, this is not a Fela Piqué now. Do you understand? That's exactly what we're talking about. Now, even when you now go and do blood DNA, even the DNA will slap you. What are you trying to confirm? This is Fela's child. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to say in essence is that if you're going to do 5 DNAs, there's something wrong somewhere. Something wrong somewhere. But now they are calling for a 6th one. So US in Nigeria, you have been called. Please. Or please respond.
Anyway, really, yeah. I just wanted to go through quickly. Hong Kong, remember the apartment complex fire that happened in Hong Kong in November? It's official. They just finally got a final death toll, and it was said that about 168 people actually died from that incident.
Crazy.
They're saying that this is the
sad.
According to global tally, I think this is the worst inferno that has happened with the most casualties since about 1980.
Sad, very sad.
It's such a very sad one. Uganda is voting at the moment. They're saying that Museveni is taking the lead. Bobby Wine is under house arrest again.
There has to be something that these dictators have that's holding people back. You know, they're talking about glitches during the election, and people are alluding to the fact that it's most likely deliberate on the part of the election umpire. All sorts of things have come out. People are saying a whole lot. You know, it's so sad. It's so sad, Cha. Look, my own is that if you're that popular after almost 500 years of being president of that country, do you need all of these extra things? People should just vote for you. They should just vote for you now because you are.
And we're even in 2026 now. Their daddy, their grandpa. At this point, because if he gave birth when he was first president 40 years ago, his child has probably given birth to his grandpa, and some people's great grandfathers. Anyway, before we leave, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to invoke Insurrection Act over the protest that's going on in Minnesota. We know that the protest right now going on in the U.S. is about the arrests that the ICE is going on about, and it's not looking good.
Speaking of ICE, I'll take a sip. Yeah, so Donald Trump is saying he's going to invoke one law. Mm-hmm. Was that the law he invoked when he sent in troops to other parts of America? Mr. Trump. Keep playing these games that you're playing. We are watching and we are learning and we are observing.
Learning, Laura, at this point.
A lot of things are happening in America that you never thought was possible.
It would ever happen, yes.
You know, because it's really like a script from 1970s Africa. You know,
it is
with the dictators and all of that. But this is America. I had to go listen to Childish Gambino again this morning. Like,
this is America.
What was he thinking when he made that song about 8 years ago or so?
Yep. Anyway, let's be going. On that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again on Monday at 3 p.m. West African time. to give you another wonderful edition of the Boom Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
When these fat people run out of jokes, they just go to the church. Like, bro, like, you can think, you know. When these fat people run out of jokes, they just go to the church. Like, bro, like, you can think, you know. The church one is funny anyway, so it's not funny, it's fat. Not having it. At the end of the day, we all came out of a church system. Some of your known actors and actresses, they were raised with those offerings there. So it is within our own right, my right as a leader, as a pastor, to correct the church, not a joke. But churches give to their community more than rappers do. The most stingy pastor is still a better giver than the greatest rapper, because he's giving out of what he doesn't have. You know what you've been doing. You know how much you sacrifice for your community. You know what you do. You know how many people you've housed. The fact that we don't know that about other pastors does not mean it doesn't exist, because I know it exists. So it is not a joke. It's not going to be funny and we're going to attack when we're ready. No. I'm not finding anything a comedian is doing to the church funny. Don't send it to me. Don't be mad. I'm not on that. We're not laughing at what's not funny. That's not fun. The church is under attack. And you know how much I don't like the setting of the church. You know